particularly loud. That's all. It's all good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's crack on because I know you're super fucking busy because I've seen your schedule and I'm like right in the middle. So let's not
Yeah.
fucking mess around here.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
crack on. We've got 15 minutes, which is about two of your songs. So let's get into it. All right. I appreciate you taking the time out because on my research, I figured out you don't do interviews often. Is that true?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Almost never. Yeah. Very, very selective. So this is probably the first time we've actually done them leading up to a tour. Um, Sort of started. We opened them up a little bit for there's some drum specific ones that I've been doing over the last year or so. So yeah, but let's see. We're very picky about it. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Uh, you've got seven shows lined up, three back in your home country, then you've got four over here in Australia. And you're bringing the Amenta with you. This is also on the back of your last album, Cutting the Throat of God. Um, and you've not been here since 2023, is my recollection when you're with Mayhem.
24 actually. Yeah. We actually toured the album in end of shit, end of 24. Yeah. So the first shows that we ever did for this album were Australasia. Yeah, but you are
So for
right. Yeah,
people,
we also came over with Mayhem as well the year before. Yeah.
so for people who haven't seen you guys, and this is a headlining tour, um, it's meant like the two bands are mental. But for people who haven't seen you, what can they expect from this show?
I mean, it should it should be very immersive. Let's put it that way. So it's I mean, shit. If you're not familiar with our music, I'm not really sure how to give an entry point to it. Um, but what I can say is like we work extremely hard on performing at an album level, basically. So um, hopefully, we've been told that it's the that comes across as well. So what you hear on the albums is essentially what you're going to get live. We're only a three piece, so we find ways around that in terms of like live looping and stuff like that to make the sonic picture as massive as possible. Um, and yeah, it should be one hell of a show. Hopefully, that's what we're aiming for. You know.
Well, you've created a whole career from, and if I'm speaking out of turn, do obviously stop me. But you've created a whole career of being just, I suppose, a little off center, and
Yeah.
your shows are pretty much the same as well. So there's an awful lot of it's not just the sonics that then come with that. It's kind of the visual part as well, isn't it, of
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. And we've been paying more and more attention to that kind of like the visual representation of it too. So like last shit last last 4 years maybe of touring, we've been traveling with a lighting technician as well. So it's we're trying to lighting technician and sound crew as well. So it's we're trying to give as much as we possibly can because we know what it's like for some of the live performances we've seen where you get knocked on your ass. You know, it's there's nothing actually better than that. Um, so yeah, lots of attention to detail, lots of we're constantly refining. We talk about things like live tones all the time in terms of like down to the most minute detail. So yeah, we're as passionate about the live performance as we're about the album work.
Do you think then, in that aspect, that the you're growing into becoming a concept band rather than just a band that does a record?
Uh, I don't know. It depends on what you mean by that. I'm very adverse to gimmick bullshit in metal. There's a lot of it. So, and we are not, we try to stay as far away from that as possible. So you got to be tricky. You got to be careful with this live show theatrics and stuff that goes on because the bigger that bands get, kind of like more disconnected, that can kind of happen. I don't think we're ever in fear of getting ginormous just by the sonic approach that we take. But um, yeah, I don't know. It's like for us, it's just it's we're expressing something with the albums, and then we because we write the albums through jamming, through we still do it old school. You know, it's still three people in a room at 100 dB. So why not just bring that to the stage? That's kind of the philosophy. There's actually nothing more to it than that, you know.
It's quite simplistic. It's not as like my job's obviously to try and find hidden meaning, and you're basically going, no, we just play, man.
I honestly I don't think there's anything more to it than that. But what like the power that you can generate with just a very small amount of people on stage, all firing at hopefully level 100. Yeah, it can be. I don't know. It's also like the best live performances that have really fucking affected me, you know. And still to this day, there's the odd show. It's not every show, but there's the odd show here and there where you're just like, fuck, it's transcendental on some level, and it's like, fuck, if we feel like we can achieve that, we're not 100% sure because we can't see ourselves play, but we're trying our damnedest, you know, and we get, you know, the feedback that we get from people is hopefully it verges on towards that kind of territory, you know. So let's see. Yeah, we're doing our best.
Well, talking of playing lots of shows, I mean, at the end of last year, 21 dates in North America. You then went to, I call it South America or Latin America.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, what was the well, one, what were the challenges you faced going over there as a New Zealand band with this style of music? But two, what were the successes that you had as well with such a huge tour?
So it's pretty lopsided, man. It's like pretty much. I mean, I would say almost 100% success. There was nothing, no failures. There was nothing. There was no logistic hiccups. Even stuff like the amount of flights that we did, there was no lost luggage and stuff like that, which almost always happens. Um, and most of the shows in Latin America were new territories. Like we've done Mexico before, but certainly not Colombia and Argentina and whatnot. So you never know what you're in for playing brand new countries, you know. Yeah, from our perspective, and those shows were equally as good as anywhere else in the world. And some of them are the most memorable as well. So it feels like we're just kind of firing on all the cylinders at the moment, which is great. So we're gonna try and keep riding it as much as we can. Um, I mean, look, the playing states is always a logistic challenge. You have the visa cost is fucking insane. But once you're there and on the ground, it's actually very easy. And we've been over there almost every 2 years since 2012, COVID notwithstanding. So it's pretty familiar territory for us. We kind of know the hitches, the things that you have to avoid if you want to make it smooth. Yeah, no complaints. It's just cost. It's just cost, you know. But luckily, this far in, you know, in particular in the last 5 years, the band now sort of sustains itself, which is a very different proposition when we first started or first wanting to think about, you know, it's you have to reach pretty deep into your own pockets. So, it's a great place to be, basically.
You mentioned about when you first started, 25 years, 26 years, still going. Do you
Yeah,
still feel like a teenager?
yeah, essentially, yeah. It doesn't. That's a crazy big number, you know. But the thing is the three of us are extremely driven still, extremely passionate. We wouldn't be doing this if this wasn't fun. Um, and we've just always found a way of working that kind of avoids serious tension, you know. We kind of and we're at a point now where it's like we just know that all the moves we get to make are for the the betterment of the unit, you know, not the individual. Because yeah, um, yeah. So it's great, man. We're in a great spot.
Good. I am going to the last album, "Cut in the Throat of God." It was seventh album, so I got that.
Yeah,
Having a look at some of the reviews, I found it quite interesting. So like people like Metal Hammer, you know, raved about it, big thumbs up, and we all know how influential Metal Hammer can be. But some of the older fans were a little bit disjointed with it. I mean, did you what's your take on that? Like, is it something you put a lot of value in, or is it something you just go, well, thanks very much and move on with?
Probably a bit of both. To be honest, like we didn't feel a whole lot of pushback or negativity. Um, but I'm a music fan first and foremost. I know exactly what I do and don't like about when bands change or move laterally. And if you're cemented on an older expression of sound, and a band moves away from that and starts making moves that you're stuck on that old sound. Yeah, of course, it's not for you.
It's
But
tough.
what can we do? Like, this is not a commercial venture. We're not doing this to make money. This is us as shit. We're all plus 40 now. We have to adapt. Like, otherwise, what the fuck are we doing it for? We're doing it for ourselves first and foremost. I'm not. We've never ever had any intention of writing this music for anybody else. And if that means that you lose people along the way, that's the tax of fucking doing this for yourself, right? And it's no different. Some of my favorite bands are like they might be fucking 5, 6 albums past the point where I cared about them, but it doesn't make me think any less of them. It's just
Ah,
it's just what it is. So, um, what can I say? Like, we just keep moving forward, and you will gain and lose people along the way. We also have to be really respectful of that, because we know what it's like being music fans first and foremost. But yeah, what can you do?
that's quite pragmatic. Quite pragmatic. Okay, so look, I'm fully aware that I think we are into the last 2 minutes of this as well. So thank you very much. We zoomed through it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say to the Australian fans? Anything that we can do to drum up selling more tickets?
No, I mean, all I can say is, like, we're preparing heavily. Like, we're in the complete rehearsal mode, and we're pumped. Like, Australia and New Zealand's it's our home turf. So we are bookending this kind of album cycle of touring. We started in Australia, New Zealand, and we're going to finish that way. Yeah, what can I say? Looking forward to it.
Nice, excellent work. All right. Well, on that then, I will let you go and have a minute up your sleeve before the next one.
Thanks, man.
And
Yep.
pleasure, and we'll see you when you get over. I'm in Adelaide, so we'll see you when you get here in
Cheers.
well, it's just over a month, isn't it? A couple of weeks' time. See you then.
Cheers, man.
All right,
See
take
you later.
care. Bye.